Hello, Immortal News family, and welcome back to our channel. In the last 24 hours, we have received the somber news of the passing of extraordinary talents, and today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Before we start, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Number 6. She moved through rooms like a hush in the wind, always graceful, always listening. That's how a longtime friend once described Joanna Carson, whose passing in July 2025 at the age of 93 marked the close of a life lived with rare elegance and quiet purpose. Before she became known in headlines as Joanna Carson, she built a name for herself as Joanna Holland, one of New York's top-paid fashion models. A familiar figure in Manhattan's high fashion circles, she rose not just for her beauty, but for her composure and charm. Her path crossed with Johnny Carson in 1971 at the famed 21 Club. A year later, they married, the announcement made on the same day as The Tonight Show's 10th anniversary, where Johnny reigned as host. During their 13-year marriage, Joanna stood beside one of television's most iconic figures, transitioning gracefully into life in California during a transformative era for the show. Yet she remained consistently private, never seeking the spotlight but always elevating those around her. In later years, she turned her focus to philanthropy. She was an active and generous supporter of the Elizabeth Taylor AIDS Foundation, which publicly honored her following her passing, describing her as a dear friend and a soul who embodied Elizabeth Taylor's spirit of love and support. Joanna's poise was matched by a depth of empathy that those close to her never forgot. Actor and friend Ruta Lee once said Joanna had a wonderfully sensitive approach to the people in her life, words that reflected the way she carried herself in public and in personal circles. Joanna is survived by extended family and a wide circle of friends who cherished her presence. Her son from an earlier marriage, Joe, Tim Holland, tragically passed before her in the mid-1990s. While the cause of her passing has not been publicly disclosed, her life and memory remain a quiet testament to grace, discretion, and strength. Services were held privately, with tributes pouring in from the world she touched with steady kindness. The world didn't always see Joanna Carson in the headlines, but those who knew her never forgot her. Tributes to Joanna Carson. Number 5. She believed children should be heard, not just entertained. Those words, often said about Biddy Baxter, capture the heart of her work. Through care, imagination, and fierce dedication, she turned Blue Peter into more than a program. It became a movement. Biddy passed away peacefully at age 92. The cause was complications related to age. Born in Leicester, she joined the BBC and soon shaped an entirely new way of making children's television, by listening to the audience. As editor of Blue Peter for over 2 decades, she introduced what would become cherished traditions: the Blue Peter badge, heartfelt appeals, live moments, viewer letters, and crafts millions tried at home. At a time when children's voices were rarely given a platform, Biddy made sure they were heard, seen, and respected. Her fierce attention to detail and high standards defined the show's tone, while her warmth brought everyone, from presenters to young viewers, into the fold. She once said that Blue Peter wasn't about making stars of its hosts or producers, but about making young people feel part of something bigger. That philosophy turned fundraising campaigns into national events, and helped launch a spirit of civic duty in children across the UK. Biddy won 2 BAFTAs during her time at the helm, with 12 nominations. In 2013, she received the prestigious BAFTA Children's Special Award. She was appointed MBE and later named a Fellow of the Royal Television Society. She also mentored future BBC leaders during her time as a consultant. Throughout her life, she remained devoted to championing young people. She often credited the success of Blue Peter not to production tricks, but to the children who wrote in, suggested ideas, and believed they could make a difference. In the words of a former presenter, she showed us what television could achieve when it truly served the child. Biddy Baxter leaves behind a legacy stitched into British culture, not just through the blue badge on a school jumper, but in the values and confidence she helped foster in generations. She is survived by her ideas, her impact, and a television format still going strong. Tributes to Biddy Baxter. Number 4. His first love was always the stage, a colleague once said about Jack W. Batman. He didn't just produce shows, he gave them life. Jack W. Batman, a two-time Tony Award-winning producer and force behind more than 60 theater productions across Broadway, the West End, and beyond, passed away at age 81 after a brief but courageous battle with pancreatic cancer. For over 6 decades, Jack shaped the world of live entertainment. From humble beginnings in the William Morris Agency mailroom to casting director and then celebrated producer, his journey was a testament to hard work, passion, and a deep love for storytelling. He won Tony Awards for Clybourne Park and the revival of Pippin, with his longtime producing partner Bruce Robert Harris. Together they earned a total of 13 Tony nominations. Their collaborations brought audiences powerful moments in productions like Present Laughter, American Son, Natasha, Pierre and the Great Comet of 1812, and more. Jack's reach extended far beyond Broadway. He worked on tours, regional theater, and spectacular productions in Las Vegas and Los Angeles. His ability to breathe new energy into beloved shows and lift new works onto major stages made him a vital part of the theater world. Before stepping into producing, Jack helped shape countless performances as a casting director. He also led seasons at White Plains Performing Arts Center, mentoring talent and guiding ambitious revivals. He was always generous with his time and eager to help others succeed. Even in his final days, Jack remained active, still nurturing new projects and dreaming of future openings. It was that passion that made others describe him as indefatigable. He is survived by his loving husband and partner of nearly 50 years, director Sidney J. Burgoyne, along with cousins, in-laws, nieces, nephews, and his cherished godson. He was preceded in death by his parents and brother. Those wishing to honor his memory may donate to the Entertainment Community Fund or Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS. Jack W. Batman brought magic to the stage and kindness to all who knew him. He leaves behind a legacy of joy, excellence, and creativity. Tributes to Jack W. Batman. Number 3. His work ethic set the tone for everyone around him. Roy didn't just train to win, he trained to inspire. Roy Lee Hughes Jr. passed away unexpectedly at age 17, just days before starting his senior year at Lincoln High School in Dallas. A state champion in the 400-meter hurdles and a rising figure in Texas high school track, Roy's sudden loss has left a deep mark on his community. More than an athlete, Roy was known for his quiet determination and the genuine encouragement he shared with teammates and peers. On and off the track, he led by example, training before sunrise, mentoring younger athletes, and pushing himself with focus few could match. He earned the title of Texas 4A champion in the 400-meter hurdles, a milestone he achieved with calm professionalism and a humble heart. College recruiters had begun noticing his talent. His future was bright, and he was ready for whatever came next. Those closest to Roy describe him as grounded, respectful, and driven. Coaches praised his discipline. Friends remember his easy smile. At school, he balanced academics with athletics, showing the same commitment in the classroom as he did on the track. Roy passed away at home in Dallas on August 8th. The cause of death is still under review, and family members have asked for privacy as they await results. In the days since, vigils filled with candles and shared memories have taken place on school grounds. Runners completed a silent tribute lap in his honor. His medals now hang not just as symbols of victory, but as reminders of a life filled with promise, kindness, and resilience. He had a heart just as strong as his stride, one coach shared. Roy was the kind of young man you were proud to know. He is survived by his parents and siblings, who continue to speak of his humor, focus, and generosity of spirit. Though his time was far too short, Roy's legacy runs deep. He set a standard for what it means to be a student athlete, disciplined, caring, and fiercely committed to every goal. Tributes to Roy Hughes. Number 2, she didn't just break barriers, she built bridges. That's how one former colleague described Dame Shirley, whose remarkable life came to a close at age 91. She passed away peacefully on August 9, 2025, after a long and impactful journey. The kind that not only reshapes industries but also touches countless lives. A survivor of the Kindertransport, Dame Steve arrived in Britain as a young girl fleeing Nazi Germany. That early displacement sparked a fierce determination in her, one that would power a lifetime of innovation and advocacy. In the 1960s, with just $6 and a bold idea, she founded Freelance Programmers. It wasn't just a software company, it was a lifeline for women juggling professional ambitions and family responsibilities. Long before remote work and flexible schedules were common, she had already imagined them. Her firm handled some of the most complex projects of the era, including programming for Concorde's flight recorder system. But just as impressive as the code was the culture she created, one built on trust, inclusion, and technical brilliance. In a time when women in tech were rarely taken seriously, she signed her letters Steve to be heard. That name became her identity as she shattered glass ceilings again and again. Beyond her entrepreneurial trailblazing, Dame Steve served on boards of major organizations like Tandem Computers and the UK Atomic Energy Authority. After stepping back from business, she turned full-time to philanthropy. Her generosity shaped autism research, expanded educational access, and supported tech innovation for those often left behind. Those who knew her speak of her clarity, her courage, and her deep empathy. She didn't just want to succeed, said a family friend. She wanted everyone else to have a chance too. Her husband, Derek Shirley, passed away in 2021. She is mourned not only by family but also by countless people in the tech world and beyond who were changed by her work, her example, and her generosity. Dame Steve Shirley leaves behind a legacy that reminds us what's possible when vision meets purpose. She built a software company, changed how we think about work, and gave her fortune to causes that truly matter. Tributes to Steve Shirley. What's trending on the internet? News 1. Good evening, friends. Our hearts are with the people of Balıkesir, Turkey, where a 6.1 magnitude earthquake struck the Sindurgi district on Sunday evening, damaging multiple buildings and injuring dozens. An 81-year-old woman, rescued from the rubble, later passed away, and authorities are continuing careful search and safety efforts for the community. Here's what we know. The quake hit just before 8 p.m. local time and was followed by several aftershocks. Crews worked through the night, guiding families to safe areas and checking unstable structures. Neighbors opened their doors, shared warm meals, and comforted one another. A powerful reminder that kindness shows up when it's needed most. If you're watching from home, keep the people of Turkey in your thoughts tonight. Moments like these bring folks together across oceans. We honor the life lost with gentle respect, and we salute the first responders, volunteers, and everyday heroes helping their neighbors rebuild. May this community be remembered for its courage, compassion, and the helping hands that turned a hard night into a story of resilience and hope. News 2. A day of courage and community in Clairton, Pennsylvania. Earlier today at the U.S. Steel Clairton Coke Works, about 15 miles south of Pittsburgh, an explosion shook the plant, where hardworking men and women keep America's steel story alive. Authorities confirmed at least one life was lost, several people were injured, and crews are still working tirelessly to account for everyone and bring folks to safety. First responders, hospital teams, and local leaders moved swiftly. Neighbors offered prayers, opened their doors, and looked out for one another. For families waiting by the phone, our hearts are with you. For the brave responders on the ground, thank you for your steady hands and steadfast hearts. As Clairton comes together in the hours ahead, this community will be remembered for its strength, kindness, and the way it held one another up when it mattered most. News 3. Hey friends, here's a gentle update many are following online. Authorities have identified remains found in a wooded area along I-20 in Cleburne County, Alabama, as 33-year-old Peter Alexander Robinson of Austin, Texas, who went missing in late 2022. His identity was confirmed through dental and DNA analysis, and his family has been notified. Deputies say Peter's car had been towed from that stretch of highway weeks after he disappeared, and evidence at the scene helped guide investigators to the truth. Officials also shared that Peter was believed to be experiencing a mental health crisis at the time he went missing. Today, our hearts are with his loved ones, who have waited so long for answers. If you or someone you know is struggling, help is always close by. Dial 988 to reach the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline for free, confidential support. Peter will be remembered for the love his family holds for him, and for the reminder that every life matters, every story deserves closure, and none of us is ever alone. News 4. I was thinking about how some names carry so many memories, and today many are reflecting on Brandon Blackstock, who has passed away at 48. Brandon, known to many as the former husband of singer and host Kelly Clarkson, built a long career in music management, working behind the scenes to support artists and shows in Nashville and beyond. His passing was attributed to melanoma, and his family has asked for privacy as they grieve. Brandon's story is woven into the music community he loved, supporting talent, championing creativity, and being a devoted father. Those who knew him remember a steady presence with a calm way of getting big things done, and friends say he always made time for family. For so many of us, news like this invites a quiet moment to check in on loved ones and to take care of our health. And for those who worked with Brandon, his impact will live on in the artists he helped and the careers he guided. He'll be remembered for his dedication, his love for his children, and the meaningful mark he left on the music world, reminding us that kindness and commitment can echo long after the spotlight fades. News 5. Hey friends, thinking of you tonight. Jennifer Aniston, 56, is gently opening up about her dear friend and Friends co-star Matthew Perry, who died in October 2023 at 54 in Los Angeles. She shared that the cast had been mourning him for a long time as he bravely battled addiction, and that they did everything we could to support him along the way. Matthew, beloved as Chandler Bing, spoke openly about his struggles in his memoir, and often credited his castmates, especially Jennifer, for reaching out and standing by him. Their bond, formed on a New York City sitcom set that felt like family, became a real-life example of loyalty, compassion, and constant care. Tonight we remember Matthew not for the pain he carried, but for the joy he gave, those one-liners, that wry smile, and the warmth that made millions feel less alone. And we honor Jennifer and the Friends family for showing what true friendship looks like. Matthew's laughter lives on in our homes and our hearts, and that's how we'll keep him close. News 6. Hey friends, take a breath with me for a moment. Out of Dallas, Texas, a 38-year-old mother of four, Jessica Marquez, and a 19-year-old Christopher Garcia lost their lives in a two-car crash that authorities say was so severe one vehicle split apart. It happened along a busy stretch of road, and first responders moved quickly as the community looked on with shock and heartbreak. Jessica is remembered as a devoted mom who juggled work, school events, and Sunday dinners, always with a warm smile and an open door. Christopher's loved ones say he brought light and laughter wherever he went, a young man with big hopes and a kind heart. In moments like this, details can feel overwhelming, so we'll keep it gentle and focus on the love surrounding these families. Neighbors have begun leaving flowers and candles, and local groups are already rallying to support the children and both families with meals, rides, and prayers. If you're nearby, a simple note or a shared memory can mean the world. Tonight we hold Jessica and Christopher close, honoring a mother's steadfast love and a teen's bright promise. May their legacies live on in the care we show one another, the patience we practice on our roads, and the everyday acts of kindness that keep their spirits shining. Number 1. You always felt better after you saw her on screen. She had a calm that made you pause and listen. That's how one former co-star remembered Sophia Siri, a tribute echoed by many who worked beside her or watched her perform. Sophia Siri, a cherished figure in Greek film and television, has passed away at the age of 77. According to tributes on social media, she drowned while in Ikaria. While official confirmation is pending, messages of sorrow and remembrance have already begun flowing from across the entertainment world. Born in Alexandria, Egypt, Sophia's path led her to decades at the heart of Greek cinema and television. Her roles spanned the gritty, the tender, and the timeless. Viewers remember her quietly powerful performances in Unfair World, Echoes of the Past, Cart Postal, and the popular series Wild Bees and Mavro Rodo. Even in her later years, she showed new generations how grace could meet grit. Her recent appearances in Riviera and Lula LeBlanc proved she never lost her creative spark. But Sophia was not only admired on camera. Behind the scenes, she shaped stories as a screenwriter, working on well-regarded series like Anatomia Enos Eglymatos and Dipli Alethea. Her writing, much like her acting, pulsed with empathy and depth. What set Sophia apart wasn't only the roles she chose but how she approached them. She gave characters soul, often without saying much. On set, she offered kindness and encouragement. Many up-and-coming actors said she was a steady presence who quietly helped them find their footing. Her work stood at the crossroads of generations, bridging traditional Greek broadcasts of the 90s with modern festival-recognized projects of recent years. Colleagues saw her as a grounding force. Audiences felt her honesty. The loss of Sophia leaves a silence on both stage and screen that's hard to accept. Though she left us unexpectedly, her influence moves forward, through the stories she told and the people she inspired. Some actors play a role. Sophia lived them, someone wrote online. That's a fair way to sum up a decades-long legacy built on strength, humility, and care for the craft. Tributes to Sophia Siri. Without Bobby, there would be no Layla, Eric Clapton once said, capturing the core of a man whose music shaped a generation. Bobby Whitlock, the soulful heart behind so many iconic songs,